Hello, welcome to the sideboard here at the StarCityGames.com Modern Open in Charlotte, part of the SCG Tour brought to you by Ultimate Guard. I'm Nick Miller alongside Pete Ingram. How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Now, I'm excited this week because you have some new cards in your deck from Ixalan.
Yeah, one card specifically.
And you're also going back to a classic archetype that you've won an Open with here on the tour.
I am, yeah.
Although you got a little bit of changes going on. There's no more Nahiris floating around.
Yeah, I did try. I did try to make it happen, and hopefully in the future I can make it happen. But Nahiri and Emrakul were a little weird with the search for Iskanta. I do think there's something there, but I'm working on it.
All right, so you've mentioned it. We're playing Jeskai Control. We have Search for Iskanta, the card that got probably the most attention of all Ixalan cards at the World Championship last weekend. Here in Modern, people were speculating this week. Magic Online lists had some copies of this card pop up. Is this card the real deal in this format?
I think so. I mean, it has some combatants with Graveyard Hate post-board, but I think it's a good engine. Like, you see cards like Ancestral Vision were pretty good, like, you know, a year ago before Death Shadow rose to, like, the top. And I think this is pretty, like, equal to that in terms of card advantage. It gives you a mana, and then it gives you the ability to dig for cards that you need in a specific matchup.
And what are we looking for this card to do? Is the scrying that important? How quickly are we flipping this? And then are you in a situation where you get to leverage the back half?
So yeah, so we're looking for this card to, basically, the scry is very nice. It's not a pseudo scry, but it's very nice to find what cards we need for a specific matchup. And then we have 4 Thought Scour in the deck. I was playing 4 Opt this week, and then I spoke with Jerry Thompson, and he was like, you should try Thought Scour. And I was like, okay. And so I'm playing 4 Thought Scour, 1 Opt. I really like the instant speed with Snapcaster. Like, Serum Visions is a very good card, don't get me wrong. And I think it's good in a lot of decks. But I do think that there's a lot of use for Snapcaster to be played at instant speed. Like, it really stinks when you have to tap down on your turn to play Snapcaster Serum Visions. And with Thought Scour, I think you can flip Search as early as, like, turn, you know, 3 or, well, I guess 4, because you're probably not, unless you have double Scour, you're probably not getting it the turn after.
Right, that's interesting about this deck. All the decks before were playing all Serum Visions because that was basically the best you could get. This deck, no Serum Visions, going all for the instant speed where, you know, we've seen it forever, people playing Snapcaster Mage on their own turn to do Serum Visions. No one wants to be doing that, especially when you have the counter magic that this deck has.
Yeah, Serum Vision lets you see 3 cards, and Opt lets you see 2. So there definitely is some disparity there, especially when you're, like, trying to find specific cards for certain matchups. But yeah, just being able to play Snapcaster at instant speed against, like, when all your cards are instants is really nice. It's a really nice way to be playing the deck.
Right, and we've seen Thought Scour show up in all these other graveyard decks where you're trying, you know, Grimag Angler or something early. This, you're just trying to fill up the graveyard for Search, plus the synergy with Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, there's synergy with Snapcaster and Logic Knot as well, because you can delve extra cards. Yeah, I wish maybe there was, like, some black on the deck for Lingering Souls or another delve card or something, maybe something to work out in the future, but I'm pretty happy with how it's been playing so far. Round 1 didn't go that great, but...
Right, you got the Tron Menace, which is never good for this type of deck. Harlan talked to me at the Open, he won, he's like, why do you put me on camera against Tron? And it's like, well, we can't do anything about that.
Yeah, so. I definitely, like, the one deck I don't want to play against is probably Tron. So.
Okay, so the rest of the deck looks pretty similar to the things these Jeskai control decks have been doing. You're not on Team Geist.
I'm not on
more
Team Geist.
grind them out.
I am Team Anti-Geist. I just can't win with that card. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe in the sideboard it'd be fine in specific matchups, but they play, like, Rossum and Harlan play that main, and that works for them. It just doesn't work for me. I'm all about Vendilion Clicks and Snapcaster Mages.
Right. Then, of course, you got your removal, Path to Exile, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix, all the things we come to expect here, along with Electrolyze, a bunch of cryptic commands. And then, as you mentioned, Vendilion Click is your other finisher alongside Colonnade.
Colonnade, yeah, 4 Colonnade.
And what do we like about Vendilion Click here in this deck as opposed to, you know, you don't like Geist, but what's so much better about Click?
Yeah, so I think the options are Click, Spellqueller, and Geist. I think Spellqueller is a fine card. Click, like, just in this last match against Tron, it allows you to play against the decks like Scapeshift and Tron and just, like, get it in when on turn 3 when it's good, look at their hands, see what they have, play accordingly, and then take the threat. Just so happened that my opponent managed to draw the same card twice, but it's really versatile and really nice to just get all the information, and it also can, like, help you out in a bind when you need lands or something, you can just target yourself and draw a card that way.
All right, classic Magic Online bug where you take their card or put the card away and it's still on top of the library or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't want that against Tron. But as you mentioned, you do have the one opt, and this card I want to touch on real quick because a lot of people have been debating over the past couple of weeks is this card good enough? Because a lot of people are like, this card's a joke or this card's great.
Yeah, like
there's not a lot of middle ground.
Cedric tweeted like I hate opt, I don't understand how you can play it. I think opt's pretty good. I've been playing with it this week. I was fairly happy. I'm only playing Dot Scour because of the Search of synergy. Otherwise, I probably would play opt. Yeah, I'm team opt.
All right.
I think it's pretty good.
Then we'll move on to the sideboard here where a lot of the matchups you look to shore up. You got Supreme Verdict as your sweeper of choice here. You need that for matchups that are going wide.
Yeah, you need it for Death Shadow, just an uncounterable way to clear the board. Eldrazi Tron, matchups that are going wide. Yeah, pretty much all that stuff. Affinity, yada, yada, yada.
And your counter spells of choice in the sideboard here are 1 Dispel, 2 Disdainful Stroke. We see these get mixed up a lot. I think Harlan and them like to play negates and stuff in their sideboard.
They had negate, and they had their latest lists online have had 2 Ceremonious Rejection. I like the strokes just because I want to be good against Scape Shift and Tron. But yeah, you can pretty much switch those up dependent on your metagame. Whatever you're expecting, all of those cards are viable. It just really depends on what you're looking to beat. Like Modern's just, there are so many decks, you can't prepare for all of them. It's really just like, all right, well, what do I want to look forward to be beating? What sideboard plans do I have? Something like that.
All right, Spreading Seas here is your land disruption of choice. Then your Planeswalkers are going with an Elspeth Suns Champion and a Gideon.
Yes.
So that's new.
Yeah, I actually literally just put that card in my deck. I had a Timely Reinforcements, then I was like, I think I'm probably good against burn anyway. Yeah, like my biggest fear for this deck is them sideboarding in like a Relic of Progenitus and then interacting with me, turning off my Snapcaster Mage and my Search for Ascanta, in which case I'm going to need a way to win the game. And if like Calenade and Vanilla Click don't work, I kind of just want to slam a Gideon on turn 4, and I think Gideon's pretty hard to answer. It's like similar to Nahiri, right? Like Nahiri is good because it goes up to 6 loyalty, it's hard to answer. I think Gideon's in the same realm of hard to answer.
Okay. Then we have your, sideboard choice cards that hose, the big popular Modern decks. You got Stony Silence, Celestial Purge, a Wear Tear, and then Engineered Explosives, covering all your bases.
Yeah, like those cards are just like one of great cards that literally cover all the bases. Yeah, like you draw them in any specific matchup, it's just really good for you. So
we saw the impact of Ixalan at the World Championships in Standard last weekend. You, of course, have Search Ascanta and Op in here. Do you think any other cards have legs in the older formats?
In older formats, I'd have to give it a run through. I'm going to go with likely not. I mean, Spell Pierce was already in the format. Opt and Search are pretty good, though.
I think the other ones are like Chart of Course, possibly.
Oh, yeah, there's Chart. Yeah, Chart, but you had See Beyond before that. I think people forget about that card. But Chart's pretty good. It puts the card in the bin, obviously. And yeah, I'd have to go through and actually look for Modern cards, but I think that's probably it.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing how these cards do in Modern. This is the first chance we've got to see Ixalan. We've got Opt. We've got Searcher Ascanta. We're going to look to see these cards do some work this weekend.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me here on the sideboard.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to StarCityGames.com all weekend long for the action here in Charlotte.